Bonjour les étudiants. Hello students. In class we have gone over three irregular verbs. My next verb related video is probably going to be about the regular verbs that they all resemble. You'll notice that the infinitives here, lire, prendre, and faire all end in RE. There is a regular class of verb, what's called the third group, which all end in RE. And the first two of the three verbs here, lire and prendre, are closer to the regular form than faire. I think I say something like that in the next slide. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. Yes, precisely. While all these verbs are irregular, the first two verbs are closer to the conjugation of regular verbs that end in RE, and I will be doing a video about those. And then you will have at least been introduced to all the regular forms in French of a verb. There are three categories, and this will be the third. Because our reading involved some of these other verbs, I thought it appropriate to begin discussion with some irregular ones that look like the regular ones you will learn. I hope that that won't be confusing in the long run. I don't think it will be. And so we talked about this the other night in class. We all noticed that we're all very avid readers in the class. Either for reasons of study or reasons of just enjoyment. And so lire is to read. I'm going to go through the conjugation a couple of times, and it would be my advice that you repeat this, and you can play this back. I'll say it a couple of times, and then I will ask you to repeat this until you feel confident that you know how to conjugate this verb. Je lis. Tu lis, il, elle, on lit, nous lisons, vous lisez, il, elle lisent. Encore une fois, je lis, tu lis, il lit, elle lit, on lit, nous lisons, vous lisez, ils lisent, elles lisent. So yes, that's the verb. Conjugate it and repeatedly to yourself until you feel confident you know it. On to the next verb. Here is the next verb. Prendre is used was used in our reading. You have it in your book. It was used particularly, I think, in talking about taking the train. It can mean something like I take money from the cash register, I take a shower. Prendre is, there are a few idiomatic expressions where we would say to take and the French would not say to take, but mostly this is a pretty close relation to our verb to take. And I will conjugate it twice. Again, I'm going to suggest that you conjugate it to yourself until you feel fully confident that you are able to do this by memory. So prendre, to take. Je prends, tu prends, il prend, elle prend, on prend. Nous prenons, vous prenez, ils prennent, elles prennent. I'm going to do it again. Now I want you to do it until however many times it takes for you to feel like you really know it. And that might be a whole lot more than twice because this is the first time you're doing this. Je prends, tu prends, il prend, elle prend, on prend. Nous prenons, Vous prenez, ils prennent, elles prennent. And this is the last of the verbs that we will be covering today. It is at once the most widely used because it's used in a variety of idiomatic expressions. I'm going to give you some, but not all of them. I probably couldn't give you all of them because people have a way of making new ones. To do or to make is the verb faire. And we went over it last class, as I recall. And it remains something that you will want to become more proficient at. But here we go. Je fais, tu fais, il fait, elle fait, on fait, nous faisons, vous faites, ils font, elles font. I'm going to do it again. You notice, of course, that the first three parts of the conjugation sound exactly the same. And then vous faites doesn't sound at all like the verbs that have the vous version of the verb end in EZ. All right, one more time. Je fais, tu fais, il fait, elle fait, on fait, nous faisons, vous faites, ils font, elles font. Again, practice this until you feel confident you know how to use it. And then here are some of those idiomatic expressions I mentioned in the last slide. This is one that'll be familiar to anyone in Louisiana. Faire dodo is something that people say to children. It's not the Cajun festival, fait dodo, which is something else here, but it is the same meaning. Faire dodo means, it's what I'd say to a child, ah, vas-y, fais dodo. Chérie, fais dodo, il est l'heure de faire dodo. It's like it's bedtime, Betty-bye time, I guess you could say. Faire du cinéma, we discussed in class, it means to make a scene, not to make a film. Faire un film would be how I would discuss making a film if I were a filmmaker, but faire du cinéma means I'm just, I'm throwing things and stomping around. Faire la fête means to celebrate. Faire attention means to be careful. It can also mean to pay attention. Faire le ménage, to clean house. Faire la tête is sulk. It doesn't mean you're throwing things. You're not having, when you, si on fait la tête, on ne fait pas du cinéma. On n'est pas heureux. One is not happy when one is, si on fait la fête, si on fait la tête. Faire la grasse matinée means to basically sleep in. Aujourd'hui, il est dimanche. Je n'ai pas fait la grasse matinée. Today is Sunday. I didn't lounge around, nevertheless. Faire la bise. You remember that thing where the French kiss each other on both cheeks? Sometimes 3 times, depending on the region, sometimes 4 times. Faire la bise is this gesture that they do, and not air kiss, but they sort of, kiss each other on the side of the face. That's what that is, faire la bise. That's how they talk about that kind of kissing. So here's your homework. Translate these sentences into French. I am leaving by plane Monday. Are you making a quiche for the meeting? We are reading a book by Georges Sand. He is making the scene because she doesn't like him. They are sulking because they cannot leave. Pay attention, all of you. Your grandmother is speaking. Let's celebrate even though there is no Mardi Gras this year. And let me to add to that last one, in masks at a safe social distance while washing our hands. Stay safe out there, you crazy kids. And I will see you in class next time. Thank you and bye-bye.